It's okay, you can be like, no.
I thank God that we met, and I thank God that we met when we did, because I feel like we had so much time to be around each other, to have friends, to get to see each other in everyday scenarios. So when we were at school,
Yeah.
in high school, we had a lot of chances to get to know each other's character.
Yeah.
I think our love story starts at the youth camp we had. So we had a youth camp together, and it was in Kayonza with New Life Bible Church. I think that was one of the nights at the youth camp is what sparked our connection to a romantic connection, because we were friends before. So you wanna tell them about
Well, I feel like for me, the first time I noticed you was actually much earlier than that. I think we were like 13 and 15.
Yeah.
And I saw you at another camp.
Yeah.
And in that camp, like I noticed that you were washing, like you were helping people wash their plates. Like everyone had to wash their plate, and then you were helping some people do it. And you were like, oh, it's fine. I'll help you. And I was like, what kind of kind individual is this? What kind of kind person does this? You know?
Yeah.
That was the first time I noticed that there's something special about you. And then later, we did have that moment where it felt like a magical time around the campfire.
Yeah.
And I think it was, what do you, I don't know, do you want to share that, or am I sharing that?
I'll say to the youth out there, go to church camp, because that's where our love story began. So I think at the campfire there wasn't much to it, I'll say, but just the environment and the connection. We didn't even say a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think we even said anything to each other really. We just hung out, and there was a campfire, the pastor was teaching, and we just felt so connected. I think for me, that's when in my mind I had a romantic thought for my now wife. So it was amazing. And then after that, I think when we went back home, we started calling each other to check up on each other every night. Then our conversations got longer and longer.
Yeah.
And longer, sometimes like 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
Sometimes throughout the night. So it was an amazing time, and it was a very connecting time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think after that, because we had holidays when we came from the camp, and then we went back to school.
Yeah.
And then this is where I still have beef with Daniela. Because after we went back to school, I asked her out. I was like, can you be my girlfriend? She was like, I'll get back to you. It takes 3 months to get back to me. I was like, what's going on?
But there was a reason.
There was a good reason.
I'll
let you tell them the reason.
I wanted you to know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah.
I didn't want you to just walk blindly into a relationship with me when I have like these particular values and things. Yeah. So I wanted you to first know who I am and how I see life, because I think around that time when we were kind of considering dating, I was seeing it as a lifetime thing. Yeah. Even though we were in grade 12, I was like, this is it. Like, what else? You know, what else am I waiting for? So when we went into it, I didn't feel rushed. I wanted us to really explore where we're going and what you want and what I want. Yeah. So
I'll say first, when it came to me waiting for you to give me an answer, I think it really set a trend and an expectation. Because then I really thought of what I was getting into and took it more seriously.
Yeah.
And I love that you said you're going to pray about it, which was very inspiring. It made me rethink what I was going to do and what I was asking of you and of myself.
Yeah.
And then I think we really had a good culture of communicating, which kept us understanding what we need from each other throughout the following years of our relationship.
Yeah.
And I think our parents played a big part in that because we have really supportive parents.
Yeah.
And they inspired us to have a love story. I think ever since getting married, I've come to understand what it means to have an example in your life.
Yeah.
I think having our parents was such a good example that it made it easy for us
Yeah.
to know what to do and know what to expect from the other person and voice it and have the other person respect it, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
And I feel like when we were starting to date, our parents and community were kind of involved. They were aware that something is happening, which for me even solidified it more because it felt safe getting into that relationship, knowing that I have a community of people in it with me. Like our siblings, our friends, and our parents, they were all close by. And I remember that even early in the relationship, I think when you'd come back on holiday, you once decided to come and officially meet my parents, even though you knew them already. And you came with a bouquet of flowers and their favorite soft drinks and everything.
And I was sweating.
Yeah, you were sweating, but I remember that at the time, I think you were only 21, and you came and made that important step, and from there it felt like, both my parents have met you and officially recognized that we're a couple. And I think that gave me so much freedom and liberation to really explore the relationship and get to know you better, get to know our families without the pressure of kind of being in secret in a way, if that makes sense. Yeah.
I also think keeping things in secret is a little bit of a formula to failure. Because I think when you have parents involved, you respect them. You also respect your partner because of their parents.
That's true.
You're not going to treat someone a certain way. Their parents are going to keep you accountable. They know they've been with you.
Yeah.
So, and I also think it adds an element of loving the person entirely.
Yeah.
In the entirety, because you love not just her, but everything around her siblings, her parents.
Yeah.
It's a full package.
That's so true.
I think
that's so true.
Yeah.
One of the things I really appreciated about you and appreciate even more is how you have that perspective of loving someone, the wholeness of who they are and where they come from. And that's something that's very special about you. I always find that you're not judgmental. You're never judgmental. You never judge. Even though things may be strange, you accept the wholeness of who I am back then and even now.
I think people that are navigating relationships, first it starts with finding a good partner that you respect, that you love. I think when you choose the right person for you, then you make the effort to make things work.
Yeah.
So I think if I was to give advice to someone who wants to get into a relationship or navigate a relationship, is look for the right person and never have a mindset of having a backup plan.
Oh, yeah.
You're going forward with this person and you make it work. And the other person has to be willing and have the same mindset of respect and going through everything that's hard to get to the end. Because every relationship, even if you leave the one you're in right now and you go to another one, you're still going to have hardships.
Yeah.
So you can't just always leave,
Yeah.
And I think there's something beautiful about sharing a life with someone through the hard times and through different versions of yourself. Let's say you're 70 or 80 or 90 and this one person can account for your whole life. They know what you've been through all up to that end. And I think that's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So if you can find the right person and you try to outlast life with them,
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I echo the same thoughts. I think for a lasting relationship is really commitment in spite of anything that may come up. Being committed to the other person, also being committed to your values, because it starts by having values that align and having something in common that grounds you that you can always come back to, and then together navigating whatever storm or whatever challenge may arise. I also feel like for me, a key thing in navigating relationships is having a really good faith-based life. For me, that's really helped. I've over the years learned to commit our relationship more to God, and that has never disappointed. Yeah, and actually, it gives me more capacity to love you better. I feel like every time I spend time with the Lord, I'm able to love you at a deeper, better level. Able to be more patient, more kind, more, less selfish and more selfless. Yeah. And I think it molds you into the person who you deserve to love you. Yeah, so I think that's.
I think having a Christ-centered value system for us, if things go so bad, we're always guided by our faith to give that to the center.
Yeah.
So I hope it can work for other people too.
I hope it helps.
Yeah. Thanks.